Hey everybody, it is day 4. We are actually filming and doing this on the 4th of July. So happy 4th of July out there. In honor of that, we have been doing our lettering in red and blue this week. So let's start off with the letter D. Okay, the lowercase d. The first stroke that you need to learn with the D, and I'm going to do it large and then I'll do it small, is that C stroke that we learned yesterday. So we'll do it large, stop and end. You can combine that. You can just make that into a circle, but get in the habit of starting your letter over there. It does make a difference. I'm going to zone in a little bit more. Sorry for the shaky camera. Now we'll do it small here. So I'm going to place pen tip to the paper right about there, and we'll do the full circle. But you can also do it like the C. It is whatever feels comfortable for you. So we're going to start here with no pressure. Remember, when we're going up, there's no pressure. When we go around that little hill, we're coming up and around that hill, we're going to press down on the pen. Okay, so we're making it real thick there, coming down. I like to think of it as going up the hill, you press on the gas, right? So you're not putting any pressure on the brake. And when you go up and around the mountain and come down, when you're going down the hill, you're pressing on the brake. So there's the down, and as you come back up, you're lifting back up to the point of that pen. Remember, we're not turning the pen. We're not going sideways with the pen. We're keeping it at the same slant. We are just pressing to make that thick line. So the tip and press. Let's try it again. We're going to start in the middle here. Whoops. We're going to start in the middle. We're going to go up with no pressure around the mountain. Press down. We're going back up. And right about here, we start to lift off of our pressure to go upward. Try it again. Going up, no pressure. And we're going to end right about the same spot. Now, just a little tip, and you don't have to do it this way, but a lot of times when you are, I'll do it over here. We're not to O yet, but I want to tell you, since I told you to start to the side. If you start your letter O at the top, come around and come up, and then you join that. If you can see really close, whoops, we're sliding with the camera again. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't join very smoothly. And the bigger the marker or brush pen that you use, the worse that will end up looking. So when I start my O off to the side and come up, come around and press, come back up and lift, other than me putting a dot there, that would have been a seamless where they meet. And with the next part of the D, even if it wasn't perfect, because we don't need perfection, guys, the downstroke of the D would cover that up. So the next stroke, and you can of course learn the rules and then later break them, but for now we will stick with the proper way to make that letter D. So there are a few ways, and I'll show you one. You can just start at the top of the paper here, pressing down, going around that curve and lifting. It's just a slight lifting of your finger to get that pen back to the tip. Around, and just that slight lift. Press, under, slight lift. Okay, you can do it that way. You can also do it this way. I'm going to start here, and we are going to do this ascending loop. Okay, ascending stem loop. This is your ascending loop, and there's your stem. So an ascending means it's above the line. It goes up. it's above the line. So we're going to ascend, like climbing the stairs. And I'll show it again right here, up and around with our loop. Press straight down. Okay, let's go right here. So when we combine the two, when I start my O and I meet, it's not perfect, but watch. And then we are going to add this stroke to it. Make sure we're in the frame. All right, let's add these two strokes together now. Up, press, back up, no pressure, no pressure. We're going to start up here, down, and swing back up. Now, you see how that covers up any of those little whoopsies if you're going for perfection. So let's do one with our ascending loop. I'll show you that one. So we're going to start here, up with no pressure, around the mountain, press on that pen, lift back to the point, and up. Now, if we're going to do that loop, we're going to start the loop right about here. We're going to loop in with no pressure on the loop. So we come up and around, then we're going to press, lift off of the pressure, and come back up. So there's a D. Now, once you start getting that down, right, this is where you start playing around and where your lettering style starts to come out. So you can come up, around, pressing, coming up, no pressure. All right, we can do that loop smaller. And then what you might, oh, I hope that didn't go off the frame. Let's do it again. Up, press, back up. Okay, and we can do that loop. Okay, so then what you might see a lot of people do is they come in, you do that entrance stroke that we taught yesterday for the letter C, I believe it was yesterday, and then we're going to do our oval. And what you see a lot of people do is start their loop from there, and they come up and bring that loop down and back up again. So that's the most common, I think, that I see a lot, but I didn't want it, it's not, if you are doing real, like, modern calligraphy brush lettering, it's not this that you see everyone do and just keep going up. It's not your traditional, I mean, it can be if that's what you like, but the whole point of this, like this whole 26 days, is that when you break each of these strokes down, honestly, when you are beginning to hand letter, you should be breaking each of these strokes down and literally lifting your pen off of the paper in between each stroke. Okay, so I'm lifting my pen, I'm placing my marker, I'm going to lift again. So I've lifted my pen off here, I've lifted off here, and then I lift off here at the end. Now, I hope that makes sense to you guys. And then, you know, let's just get a little fancy with it because it is the 4th of July. All right, when you start feeling more comfortable and you're developing the good bones of lettering, you can then come in here and get all fancy with your letter. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that it helps you to put together how to do your strokes for the letter D. And I will see you back here tomorrow morning for the letter E. Bye.